8:25, I'd like to call this segment Serenity Now with Linda Chu, our organizational expert. We are getting ready for the spring season. Decluttering your home, getting out of chaos is the goal here. Linda, welcome back.
Thank you.
Why is it so difficult? And I just moved recently, so I went through this of how difficult it is to let things go. What is going on in our brains that is making this an emotionally exhaustive process?
Well, it's all about nostalgia. It's looking back through your life. Perhaps a lot of things have been hidden, especially during a move. You're uncovering things for the first time for a long time, and then all those memories flood back, and it's the guilt. It's the guilt of, oh, my intention was I would have, I could have, I should have, and that all floods back, thinking that, well, maybe I should reintroduce this into my life. I should use it. I should on and on and on.
You start shitting all over yourself in this situation. Well, we have some photos because you work with several clients and helping them clean out. Let's take a look at the example of the bedroom, the before and after, and what the reality was.
Yes.
What was happening in this particular space?
This home is several generations of collection. So this particular one, gentleman had moved in after his last surviving parent had passed. So it was 50 years that his parents had lived there, but he then added his additional 10 years. So it was just volume and volume. I mean, in many cases, this is not always in this situation, but if you leave it long enough, it could. So it's that whole syndrome of, well, I'll leave it and I'll deal with it later. But later never comes. There's always something that takes its place.
Well, this is a room I can sleep in, and we can jump to the next before and after. I mean, sometimes you have gifts. I mean, you have generations handing things down. You don't want to be that person to break the cycle. What do you say to people of, like, what they can do to start minimizing and living in cleaner spaces just like this one?
Well, often it's around the nostalgia, as I've mentioned. So really looking at, is the memories attached to the physical item? It's not. It's in your brain. It's in your essence. It's in how you enjoy the item. So if there's some way, such as taking a photograph or some way to commemorate the act, the object, then certainly move towards that, passing it on to someone who can fully enjoy the item, because value is in the essence of the enjoyment that you bring to using something. So if that item is sitting there collecting dust, is that not wasted? What a waste. And therefore the waste of the purchase, the waste of the money, the waste of the intention. But if you can realize that intention and pass it on by way of a donation, or I call it living legacies, certainly with our elders, you're holding on to all of these memories. If you can pass it on while you're alive and see your family and friends enjoy that object, I think that will bring much more value into one's life and perhaps make the letting go off a little bit easier. Well,
I love this legacy piece because you're about to show us a basement before and after, and I'll tell you, I was at home in Delta this week. My folks still live there. So much stuff in our garage, crawl space. I'm guilty. Some of that stuff's mine too, but my mom was saying, hey, this is a part of our identity. What do you say to parents to help them downsize and get the clutter out?
The very real of what I see often is it's that tiff and that dumpster in the back, and when they're moving to a different home, the kids, they're taking shovels and shoveling it away. So that's why I always say, you know, be active right now into passing on these items and give the children a choice. But often the younger generation, their homes are so small that none of this stuff will fit. They just don't have the space for it. And sadly, if it doesn't fit in the dishwasher and you have to hand wash it, they don't want it. That's the reality of our times, as times are changing.
Only a few seconds left, but best piece of advice if you have someone that is ready to get rid of the chaos and someone that wants to hold on, how do you reconcile that difference when you communicate about it?
I think it's about managing your common spaces, having some ground rules around common spaces when it comes to making someone let go. Absolutely, you can't make anyone, whether they're 3 years old, 30, or 83 years old. So it's the common spaces that you set some ground rules on, and then the private spaces hopefully will follow at some point.
Work your way up. Well, great advice. Outofchaos.ca is the website. Linda, always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck out there. I know it's the
you.
season for spring cleaning. It's going to be messy, folks.